Good day guys! Andito na naman po tayo sa isa na naman talakayan dito po sa programang nagbibigay kaalaman sa siyensya, teknolohiya, inobasyon at ng saya. Dito lang yan sa Tech Negosyo! We're going to talk about our fuel cell R&D facility of the DOST ITDI. And with us today, we have our experts. May I introduce Dr. June Pareño, the project lead of the fuel cell R&D program of the ITDI. Sir June, may I allow you to please introduce your colleagues?
Thank you, Doc Bioli. They are Engineer M and Engineer Glenn.
Okay, welcome. What really is this fuel cell and ano ba yung ano nito? Ano bang kabuluhan nito with the energy crisis that we are having now?
The whole world, including the Philippines, is facing a major problem on energy.
Yes.
And not to mention yung environmental problems na kaakibat ng paggamit ng ating mga energy sources. So, one of the promising technologies na merong malaking potential para ma-address natin itong mga concerns na to is the fuel cell technology. Fuel cell technology is the most efficient and sustainable technology that could address these problems. Kasi yung fuel cell technology, direkta niyang kino-convert yung fuel natin, yung hydrogen, into electricity. Kaya walang masyadong losses at mataas yung magiging conversion efficiency ng ating fuel into energy. It is produced from splitting of water using electrolyzer. May mga available technologies na po na talagang ginagamit for the splitting of water to produce hydrogen. So kumbaga, na-establish na natin itong mga technologies na to na masasabi natin na talagang safe naman kung sakaling ang hydrogen ay gagamitin natin as fuel for the fuel cell. Right now po, ang ating ginagamit na catalyst to break down the water into hydrogen and oxygen is platinum. Marami namang countries ang nagpo-produce nito, but we are also exploring possible sources locally para mas mapababa natin yung cost.
I think that climate change is the most critical environmental issue that we are facing nowadays. And we really need to explore all possible options, strategies, and technologies that can help reduce our carbon dioxide emissions. And one way is really to look for renewable energy, such as fuel cells and hydrogen, green hydrogen.
Ang fuel cell, part siya nung sinasabi natin na green transition or clean energy technologies natin. Kasi nga, kumbaga, pagdating sa greenhouse gas emissions, zero talaga siya. Dahil oxygen and hydrogen lang naman ang pinag-uusapan natin dito. Hindi katulad ng ibang technologies pa na talagang reduction lang in the emissions ang ginagawa. But this one talagang very clean siya. So sa tingin ko, pagdating sa usapan ng green transition, clean energy technologies, kung pwede lang ito yung nasa number 1 natin. Kaya nga lang, problema, syempre, mahal pa rin siya. In fact, sa vehicles ngayon, tinitingnan nga na kung pwede, ito yung ating i-adapt.
Fuel cell is an important technology. So Japan, especially the private company like Toyota Automobile or Honda developed from early stage. Yeah, they already commercialized the fuel cell as a car. And also, fuel cell was used to provide electricity in many houses. However, it technologically requires many additional development. That's why in Japan, it is not so widely used. Yeah, we have to create the car which can be continuously used as 10 years or 20 years. Yeah, of course. But unfortunately, the current technology cannot give this long-term stability. Most important point is the catalyst stability. We have to improve the technology, especially the materials of around the catalyst to give the high stability for long-term usage, as you say, the 10 years or 20 years. Yeah, this is technologically it's challenging still.
Kaya lang, problema, yung cost pa din. Kaya malaking maitutulong nung ating laboratory ngayon sa ITDI para kung sakasakali magawa nila yung pag-aaral, paano natin ma-reduce yung cost in the production of fuel cell, and then pati yung operations niyan, yung capacity building natin. And hopefully, makahilera tayo dun sa mga developed economies na nag-a-adapt na talaga ng fuel cell. Ma-decarbonize natin yung mga operations natin, magkaroon tayo ng economic circularity. Yan yung mga gusto namin na mga advokasya dito sa Pilipinas. So, we always collaborate with relevant agencies, kasama na dyan si DOST, para kung sakasakali, hindi naman tayo laging nahuhuli. Kung anong magagawa natin, adapted to the local situation, mapangalagaan natin yung resources, maging healthy yung ating population, at hanggat maaari sana, we use our own indigenous materials para din medyo makamura tayo at hindi tayo masyadong import dependent. Kasi malaki rin ang nawawala sa dollar reserves natin.
Ang Philippines ay heavily dependent pa sa fossil fuels for power generation. And because of that, apektado tayo ng worldwide crisis ngayon. And yung currently nga, yung mga geopolitical instability sa mga oil supplying regions. And ang fuel cell ay isang technology na pwede maging alternative solutions to address these issues of energy security and resilience. We are trying to localize yung mga individual components para mas maging affordable and easily adaptable ng public.
We are trying to utilize our biomass waste. Right now, we are trying to find the potential of cotton linter and also water hyacinth po for the membrane of the fuel cell po.
When you say for the membrane, ano yung membrane na yun doon sa fuel cell?
It's one of the components of fuel cell. Yan yung ginagamit para mag-produce tayo ng electricity using electrochemical reactions. Yung ating po mga biomass waste, malaki po kasi ang potential niya para magamit nga natin as source of our starting materials for the development of the different components of fuel cell. Meron pong proseso tayong gagawin to synthesize, functionalize, and then use that material to fabricate yung ating membrane nga na sinasabi kanina na gagamitin natin as component of the fuel cell to produce electricity. Yun po yung magiging, kumbaga, benefits ng paggamit natin ng ating biomass waste. Bukod sa pag-develop ng ating technology, na-address pa natin yung ating environmental issues.
We have this commitment to the Paris Agreement for to reduce the greenhouse gas and reduce the concentration of CO2 in the atmosphere. So we need to invest in renewable sources of energy. And for example, in this specific project, so we are working on hydrogen generation through an electrolyzer technology, and then using fuel cell technology to burn the hydrogen to power. We can power, for example, for communities, small communities, especially in off-grid areas, as well as electronic gadgets actually can be used as well. In the other countries, they are using fuel cell technology to power electronic gadgets and other devices.
Gaano pa siya katagal before we can really produce? Na makapunta tayo, makarating tayo doon sa production side.
Sa ngayon po, nakikita natin, it would take at least 5 years to have that technology developed. So right now, we are on the second year of our R&D sa ITDI. So para ma-complete po yung cycle of development ng technology, so we still need at least 3 years. So maybe by 2027, we will have the prototype design of the fuel cell.
So as the project leader for fuel cell, I really want the government to adopt this technology in terms of our industry usage and transportation. Number one is we need to develop our people to be trained as engineers and have their capacity built in terms of managing this technology or enterprising this technology for commercial use. Another one is support from the government for local production than to do importation of fuel cell from other countries. And for practical application, I think if we can see technology like fuel cells in action in rural or remote area where off-grid energy source is needed. I think that's how we champion the fuel cell technology in the country.
We are going to talk about energy. At hindi lang basta energy, alternative sources of energy. With us today for this episode is Dr. Grace Feyu from the NAT field. And she is also our adapter for the power backup system as an alternative source of energy. And also our tech generator, Engineer Apollo Bawagan, who is also the officer in charge of the Chemicals and Energy Division of the ITDI. That's it, guys. Let's tune in and listen to our discussion on the power backup system only here at Tech Negosyo. And to start with, please tell us something about yourself and then, of course, about NatField.
Hi, thank you, Mom, for inviting me in your show. When I went with the national scientist, Lourdes Cruz, at na siya naging mentor ko, sabi ko, gusto ko rin maging katulad niya na using the technologies, science, in helping to alleviate poverty. Sabi ko, teka muna, gamitin ko laboratory nito to study the plant samples of the indigenous people thriving on top of the mountain. Kung gagawin kong research ito at makakapag-formulate ako dito ng product at ito ngayon ay kikita, makakatulong tayo sa livelihood nila. Doon po nagsimula, dire-diretso na ako. Yung aking small planta doon, nakatayo na ang building na ito. But there is one problem that I encountered. Parating may power interruption.
Sir Apple, kindly explain to us naman and sa ating mga manonood, ano ba itong power backup system na ito? At ano ang kanyang impact doon sa sinasabi ni Doc Grace?
Yung power backup system na na-develop namin, substitute siya sa UPS, uninterruptible power system. Gusto namin makadevelop ng similar to the UPS. Lumapit sa amin si Doc Grace. So tinanong namin, Ma'am, ano ba yung paggagamitan mo? And doon sa kanyang facility, meron siya doong equipment na tamang-tama, kailangan niya ng backup. Tinignan namin yung specifications, lalampas siya doon sa aming prototype. So, mga 3 kilowatt. So, sabi namin, magdi-design kami, Ma'am, 3 kilowatt para eksakto doon sa requirement ninyo. And we did that.
With that, ma'am, ano po yung magiging impact nitong PBS na ito sa ninyo, operations nyo?
Actually, we're using it na. May solar po, no, solar panel. And then from there, nakaka-store po ng energy. May battery po kasi. In the evening, dahil nga po 90% may naka-store energy. So, that's what we're using for the freezers and the lights and all.
Yung sa percentage ng pagbaba dun sa dati and now after using the PBS?
Malaki po, no? Kasi 1,000 to 3,000 ang binabayaran ko. Depende po, of course, the usage po ng wattage, no? Biglang bumaba to 200 to 300 or 162. Depende po yun, ha? Kasi nga po, instead of using the grid, we use the power backup. And take note, it's 3,000 watts.
We would like to know naman for the benefit of our viewers, yung longevity nung PBS na ito and its applicability naman sa ordinaryong households.
Yung ating power backup system, meron po siyang life na depende dun sa usage, no? Pwede natin itong gamitin sa mga households.
Sa bahay, ano po?
Opo. Kung ano yung requirement mo, custom-made kami. Pwedeng mag-adapt ano yung size na requirement. Kung kailangan ng isang household na 2 kilowatt or even up to 5 kilowatt single phase,
Posible.
pwede.
So, halimbawa ako, isa akong nanay, gusto kong ma-apply yung PBS na yan sa pamamahay ko. Mga gaano po ang requirement nun?
More or less, sa 300 watts yan eh. Sapat na yon para sa isang miyembro, sa isang pamilya. So around 1.5 kilowatt lang ang requirement mo. Pwede nating siyang i-custom made sa ganong klaseng requirement. And meron na rin pong mga tayong pwedeng gawin na option, which we are now looking for a licensed fabricator. Pwedeng mapababa pa yung presyo niya. Kasi pag mass production na, bababa ang presyo. So eventually, magmumura po siya.
Gusto naman namin malaman ngayon, in terms of maintenance, ano naman yung mga pwedeng gawin para ma-achieve natin yung kanyang lifespan? More than that, yung disposal ng ating mga solar panel.
Ang high maintenance kasi dito sa system is the batteries. Has a life total of about 3 years to 5 years ang battery. Pero dahil backup lang siya, gagamitin mo lang siya kung kailan mo siya kailangan. So, pwede mag-extend yung life ng battery. Now, yung disposal naman, nasa mandate din po yan ng ITDI, ang ating Environmental Division na po ang nag-handle niyan ng mga research for how to recover the precious metals doon sa solar PV, mga batteries, and then recycle it.
Ayan guys, sana natunghayan ninyo ang kwento ng power backup system developed by Engineer Apple's team, and of course, yung application po niya mismo doon po sa company na situated doon mismo sa area ng ating mga IPs, na sila po mismo yung nakikinabang din. So, Doc Grace, my heart is full, no, because of your story, no. Sana po marami pang ganito na stories, no. Continue watching Teknegosyo. Marami pa pong dadating na mga stories na kapakipakinabang na talagang nagpapatunay na ang ating mga local talents, local engineers like Engineer Apple, talaga pong makakatulong at magiging kaakibat nating lahat sa pagunlad. Any parting words po, Sir Apple and Ma'am Grace?
In behalf of ITDI in our division, nagpapasalamat po kami ng malaki kay Doc Grace, no, for adopting our technology and giving her full trust sa amin. At kami naman ay magpapatuloy na tutulong pa rin sa kanila. Maraming salamat po. Sa aming technology na na-develop, sana po ay marami pa pong mga Pilipino na mag-adapt ng aming technology at para lumabgo pa po ang ating ekonomiya at marami pa po tayo matulungan. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat.
Okay, thank you, Sir Apple. Ma'am Grace, any parting words?
First of all, I would like to thank you, Ma'am, and the ITDI for inviting me. Secondly, and lastly, sa pamamagitan po na yung show, ako po yung nagpapasalamat sa kanya. Ang lahat po ng mangyayari, binibigay ko sa kanya lahat ng pasasalamat, papuri, at parangal sa ating Panginoong Hesukristo. Maraming salamat po.
I can only clap my hands on that, Doc Grace. No? You've just witnessed, no, a very powerful, empowering, insightful episode of Teknegosyo. No? Inaanyayahan po namin kayong patuloy na manood ng programang itong nagbibigay ng kaalaman sa siyensya, teknolohiya, inobasyon, saya, at inspirasyon. So, dito lamang yan sa Teknegosyo!